name is Ian Rothwell. I am the Managing Director and founder of RW Learning. Well, not in this sector, but I would say it's a related sector. So I went to college, university, and studied sport. So I was very much involved in sports development. That's kind of, I guess, my first career. I was a lifeguard first of all, actually, and then sports development. And then when I graduated, I went to America and decided, well, okay, this looks fun. I still want to do some coaching and playing, that's rugby. So having moved from North Wales, which is where I qualified as a coach and coached up in the North Wales club, my university was in London, so that kind of took me away from North Wales, and I wanted to eventually come home, but I wanted to explore. So I took a job for 2 seasons playing with an North American side and coaching the side there. So I suspect that's where I grew up in terms of learning about how to really live in a different country, how to develop a side, how to coach a side from one space to another, which, you know, in America they did play rugby a little bit different than they did in Wales, and they are catching up, actually. So that was a great experience for me. Yeah, I suppose I shifted out of sport in the mid-90s into financial services, and then I moved into mainstream training and development, as it would have been called then. Got an interest in developing others, but not in sport, so developing others in business, whether that's about how they lead, assertiveness, interpersonal skills, coaching others. And then I decided, I did a second master's degree, and I thought, ooh, you know, it was in leadership as well. I think I'm ready to embark on, which was always going to be my plan, is running a business. So I got a fantastic package and set myself up in 2003. So we're in year 13, year 14 now. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast. I've never looked back. Our specialist areas are within resilience, around leadership, and also around well-being. We've recently, over the past 12 months, moved into a space around applied neuroscience, and you can see there's quite a lot of that in society and in business. So we thought, actually, we need to understand that a little bit further, get some really tried and tested tools, because the issues with neuroscience is it can still be quite scientific, and scientific meaning that it's not accessible to a person in work. So we went on a quest to understand what around neuroscience can be applied practically in the workplace. So that was a big thing for us, and we've done very well so far. So in its early days, it's a newish in leadership, but we're seeing some great results with some key clients. So, you know, we can continue to do that and grow in that space as well. I suppose if I was to give a very relevant definition of resilience, it would be about the ability to bounce back, to flex against a stress, a challenge, and that's quite a traditional viewpoint, but also it's about how you learn from that particular piece of stress and how you then play that forward into your next challenge. So rather than just about bouncing back, it's also about learning from that experience and equipping yourself with better skills and techniques for when you hit the same challenge or a similar challenge. So it's actually an empowering viewpoint of resilience, not just the ability to bounce back. It's about learning from the situation you set out to give you the challenge in the first place. We genuinely work so hard at getting it right for the client. And that means sometimes commercially we're working at less than some of our competition, which is fine. And, you know, competition work in different ways. That's the sector, isn't it? But we certainly, every single client, we just give so much detail and so much care. So no program ever looks the same. I know we hear the word bespoke, and it's bespoke, and lots of sectors talk about. We are genuinely bespoke. We use some tried and tested methodologies and tools, but we spend so much time trying to work through with the client and genuinely partnering with the client. So understanding what do they need now, what do they need in the future, and checking in with the client. But the piece of feedback we get very frequently from our clients is how we generally partner with them. So sometimes our clients will say, look, we'd like a bit of this and this, and we'd say, yeah, okay, let's blend that in. Or we might challenge that and say, actually, you think you need that, but what you do need is something a little bit different. So trust us and let's work together to build this particular program, whether that's in resilience or leadership development or strategic thinking, which is some of the areas we work in. But I think where we definitely differentiate, from my experience in the market, is we bring people with us and they design the programs with us. And sometimes they develop with us. They actually do the training as well. So we're very keen. I suppose it's the motivation, it's altruistic, nurturing, whatever phrase you want to put to it, but we generally want people to move and develop. And if that means they develop a program with us and that's their development, that's great too, rather than just going on a course or having some coaching. I suppose in workplace is seeing the difference in people. And I suppose it's an interesting one, because a couple of friends asked me that at the weekend. Given my background is in obviously working with people in training and development, whereas now as a managing director I don't get as much as that because I'm not in the kind of as much in the delivery space, and as I said earlier about growing the business. So I suppose for me the shift, I like to see the team get great results with clients, and I was very fortunate last week. I was in Pontypridd with a client, and I sat in on a final part of a workshop and heard how people have actually shifted the way of thinking, their personal resilience, what it means to them, how it's actually helped them at home as well as how it's helped them in the workplace. And I was very fortunate to have the leader of the business in there, who was very, very much taken back by, wow, these people's accounts of how they've learned and what value they've seen from the experience over the past 8 months. So that was a real great thing to see, that shift in people, and that's certainly what motivates me. I suppose the additional thing over recent years is getting the word out, growing the business, seeing people talk about RW learning and talk about how we've done great things in the business and the people within the business. So seeing the growth, particularly in Wales, is really a big thing and a big passion of mine. There's never a right or a wrong time. I think if you're genuinely passionate about what you do, and you genuinely think that passion gives you what you want, motivates you, and gives to others, people see that, and it's like being a magnet, I suppose. If you genuinely believe in yourself and what you're doing, actually, you will succeed. So whether it's recession, whether the market's not right, just go for it. But stick to your guns, believe in yourself, but also flex and learn, because it's never going to be smooth. It's never smooth. But that's the most exciting thing in a way for me personally. Every day's different.